When did you see the Brooks first?
So I was an exchange student to 𝘾𝙊𝙉𝙉𝙀𝘾𝙏, Montana, 83, 84, long time ago. And I always loved the old Brooks Hotel when I was an exchange student,
And you
because
heard the old stories.
yeah, all the old timers would tell about how they went there after church on Sundays for chicken dinner when they were little kids, and the Swanson sisters were famous for their chicken dinners, and yeah, it was a good old story, and I always loved that building. So then when it became for sale, I was like, wow, that would be cool to have for the preschool. And I asked my husband, and he's like, no, I'm not buying an old building. That's way too expensive, because he's a businessman. He thinks business. He doesn't think from the heart. But Kim and I, we were thinking from the heart, and she wanted to have her daycare in the bottom, and I wanted to have my preschool in the top. And so we went to the bank to try and get a loan. Did not get a loan. We are not making enough with our businesses for a big loan, and they wanted 350,000, 2016 that was. And so then it was sitting there for a year for sale, and I would drive by every day, and it's like, it's still for sale, but hopefully if somebody buys it, they will keep it up and not mow it down and put a gas station here. That would be horrible. Yeah. So for a year I was holding my breath on it, and then I approached my husband again, and I said, you know, it's been for sale for a year. If we lowball them, we might get it for 300. Would you consider it? What would you want us to pay for rent? And he's like, well, if we could get it for 300, I'd think about it, but I want 2,500 a month rent. So then I talked to Kim, and I said, we were paying 750 in the other building. I said, would you pay 1,000 to be in the Brooks? And she's like, I'd pay 1,000 to be in the Brooks. And I'm like, I'll pay 1,000 to be in the Brooks. And then we have this little old coach building, that is kind of an office building. And I asked my friend, her husband's name is Bob, and he's a builder.
Bob the Builder.
And so Bob the Builder is renting the little cottage for 500. So we had our 2,500. Yeah. We were like, we got the rent. Will you buy it? And he's like, okay. We made the offer. They took the lowball offer.
And then the work started, though, right?
Yes, it was quite a bit of work, and it definitely needed a new roof, which was $25,000, and it needed new paint, which was another $25,000. And Kim and I would tease Dan, yeah, we're paying high rent here, you know, $2,500 a month. And he's like, yeah, that 1 year we'll pay for the roof, and the next year we'll pay for the paint, and the next year we'll pay for the water system. And so it went on. That poor man has not made $1 on it, but it's okay. It's all about the heart and the preschool, and it's a beautiful place for the preschoolers. They all love it, and the parents love it. And parents always tell me that kids talk about the building when they drive by, before they are there and after they have been there. It becomes a treasure, and we teach them to respect the 100-year-old building and be proud to be
part of the history there.
Part of the history.
So you were telling me earlier that you made some changes upstairs.
Yes.
And because this is actually a historic building, it's on the National Register. You got some lashback,
yes,
that's the word, on Facebook, because people saw the dumpster and they were afraid you were going to kind of like
destroy it.
Yeah,
they said, well, you're destroying the inside of it. And I said, it's just an old closet, and it's not gonna hurt. We're gonna keep it as original as we can and take care of it, because we love it and respect it and want to save it. And it's just some old closet wall that came out the window, and we will teach the kids, because they said, oh, the daycare kids will ruin it. And we're like, no, we teach the kids the history and be respectful.
Yeah. So I think there is one more backstory to this hotel, which is actually your connection with it and your and Pippi Longstocking.
Oh, Pippi, yes.
So that was a dream that you originally had Do you want to
Yes.
tell that story?
Yes, I love Pippi Longstocking. I love her character. I always loved her from little on. And
So Nora was born and raised, in case you couldn't pick up that accent, she was born and raised in Germany, and Pippi Longstocking, Astrid Lindgren. I mean, that's just something that I loved it too. Was my favorite. But
yes.
And I remember in the movie they had this house, and you said it was in the book too?
Yeah. I have a book because for Halloween, that's my costume. I'm Pippi Longstocking with the pigtails and all. And I bought a book so I could read it to the preschoolers. And when you open the book, there's a picture of Pippi with her horse and her monkey on the front porch of her house, Villa 𝘾𝙉𝙉𝙃, and it looks exactly like our front porch. Exactly. And I was trying to talk my husband into bringing the horse and the monkey and have a picture of me, but he said he jinxed it.
No. But now you have your own Villa 𝘾𝙉𝙉𝙃.
Yes. Yep.
So that's very cool. That's such an awesome dream. It's a great story. And it goes to show that it's definitely a passion project.
Yes, it is.
There's always something to do and
improve.
To improve, yeah. But hey, thanks for sharing that story.
Of course, I'm so proud of it, and I love it sharing the story.
Yep.